Morning of 9/11, I was in my office at the medical examiner's office here in Portland, just finishing up some paperwork, and I had the television set on in the background. I think the noise was turned down, and all of a sudden I'm seeing a lot of activity on the television set, so I turned on, and about that time they replayed the airplane going into the first building. While watching that, a little bit later, they showed the second plane going into the second World Trade Building. I was just in awe. I was overwhelmed. I called the national leader of my national mortuary team, and my first question is, I said, Snowman, how do we handle this? And his response to me is, one at a time.
And we heard a big bang, and then we saw smoke coming out, and everybody started running out, and we saw the plane on the other side of the building, and there was smoke everywhere.
Then I heard a large explosion. I thought it was a sonic boom. And when I heard the explosion, I looked up, and what I saw was, red, and I saw debris start to fall down.
As soon as you got hit, I was thrown to a window. So I was very lucky to get out. There's a lot of people that didn't get out. There's a lot of people coming down the stairs, burnt up. It's bad.
There was an enormous fireball. There was fire, debris falling to the ground, and then just a whole kind of mushroom of smoke that sort of just billowed up. And I just stood there in absolute disbelief.
There was a lot of people hurt. They were lying on the floors, coming down the stairs. A lot of people had asthma attacks while they were coming down. It was bad.
Everybody was screaming. Everybody was running. The cops were trying to maintain the calm. And in that haste, people were stampeding. People started screaming that there was another plane coming. I didn't see the plane, but I turned around, and the second building just exploded.
The plan was to hold me in reserve. I would go in after a couple weeks when the others start getting worn out and need to be reloaded, need to be replaced. I was going to go in as to replace one of them. Well, that didn't work. Yeah, I went in after about a week. We also, during the same time, we had a policy that nobody could work more than 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, you had to take a break, and we would send you out and bring somebody else in to replace you. Well, we were kind of overwhelmed. Our deployment to the World Trade Center went from September 11th until the end of May the next year. The middle of December, I volunteered our crew, my personal regional team, to go back to New York so we can get the East Coast people who have been there since day one, and several of them have been there since day one. I wanted them to all go home and be with their families for Christmas, and we were going to take over. And that's exactly what we did. Is my crew went in, everybody else went home. My crew took care of it for a little bit over 2 weeks. Christmas morning, by this time, the World Trade Center had been cleared out. When I first went there was 4 stories of rubble. It was a surreal sight, unbelievable sight. And every day I would go there and it would shock me. Even though I'd been there 24 hours earlier, I would go back and it would just shock me to see it all over again. Photographs can't do it justice. And on Christmas morning, I went down there and got on my cell phone, and I called my family. I knew they were all meeting at my mother-in-law's house, and I called my family. Just say, I'll tell you where I'm calling from. I'm calling from the basement of the World Trade Center. I'm down here, and this is my Christmas present to myself, to you, to everybody. I wanted to help, and that's why I'm here. I get to know a lot of the policemen, especially. I worked one-on-one with the policemen. They did our notifications, and they helped us gather the information for the missing persons. I saw policemen who felt guilty that they survived. I saw policemen who were mad at the whole situation. A lot of these policemen weren't able to do their job, but they were there doing it. The firemen, they lost, I think, 370 of their own in this situation, doing their jobs. They were truly heroes, and it overwhelmed those that were remaining. Those that survived, they felt guilty they survived. They had to stay and recover their own, and they were involved in that round the clock. When we went in every day to the World Trade Center, we took a route. The entire lower half or lower half mile of Manhattan was closed down. Public could not get in. And we took a route down the West Side Highway every morning. And at the final roadblock, where the civilians were stopped, there were hundreds of civilians every day at the start of a shift, every day at the end of a shift, just giving us a standing ovation as we came and went. And that meant a lot to me. God gave me a gift of knowing the system, of being able to identify the victims, being able to make that notification to the family. And it is a God-given gift. Most people couldn't do it. And also on top of that, I had thousands of people that I knew some of, but were praying for me every day. And it meant so much to me.